the bullet point I would I would take with myself, or what Mr. Pickle said, less than 5% of what is needed. So I would collect these type of data points and references. So whenever you guys talk about it, that you have those in hand. Jim, you're amazing. Thank you. Truth. Hi, good dude. How are you? I haven't spoken to you today.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, we chatted back and forth while you were in the other space. You did,
Yeah.
you did good. You did good work holding your own. It's definitely a hostile space, and sure took a lot of patience. So let's jump to what you're talking about here, and then there's something else I was going to discuss too. I'm looking at these charts that Ito provided. Has this been confirmed? Because
Yeah, it's from the IDF website.
the IDF website.
This is the IDF website.
Okay, so it's been confirmed by a third party, or should we just take the IDF at their word?
Yes, it was brought up in the previous space by someone who seemed to me to be claiming that it is a significant amount, and I just wanted to check. So I went to the IDF information website and looked at the numbers.
Okay,
That's all there is to it.
okay, because based on what I've seen in videos and based on the UN report I read, there's still over 500,000 Palestinians facing famine who aren't getting sufficient food, and there's still a water shortage. That's why I asked. So
Yeah, I mean, well, the
And
numbers are not.
the numbers show water shortage, extreme water shortage.
Extreme,
extreme.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, just to make it clear, truth. So water. I mean, I know MRose want to make it simple, but so you can get access to water, but it's
It's okay.
dirty.
Truth can handle massive amounts of information.
Right. So
Yeah. No, I follow your graph. It's actually very
so
easy to read.
okay.
But
No,
go
no,
ahead.
but
If you
but
want to
but to be honest and fair, so you could have access to water, but it's not clean, or it's not drinkable, or you can drink it and get cholera or whatever, right? So the water supplied, it's 5% of what they need. That's supplied by Israel. However, they're not dead. That means they had other sources of water. And I don't know how long will that be the case, because maybe the water will get contaminated by the seawater that's being pumped or whatever. But what I'm saying is, uh, just to be fair, they had other sources of water. So 5% was supplied by Israel. Maybe they had sources from other places. But what I heard is that what they have
But
access to is
that
not
that
clean.
that I do know. Before October 7th, 9% was supplied by Israel through the pipes, and they had desalination plants that are currently unoperational due to the lack of fuel. So those were the two main sources. I know Saudis, either the Saudis or the UAE, are constructing temporary desalination facilities, but until it gets up and running, and it's not the answer. The answer is just pipes, I think.
And also, I believe it was 7% electricity and 9% of
Yeah,
water or something like that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But so as far as the food, it seems like most of the food going into Gaza was, I mean, there's nobody's planting anything there anymore. There's like they are depending fully on the outside world to eat, which is a sad thing to begin with. But yeah, so it shows. So that's the calculations are based on 2,000 calories a day, which just gets you by. It doesn't make you win the Olympics either. So, um, however, do I trust these numbers? To a large extent, yes, because
one
some of
other
that, yeah.
one. Sorry to interject. One point with respect to the food, since you're on the topic. I've also heard though that because the trucks have been held up, the food delivered is actually spoiled, not even cannot be consumed. So there's that issue as well
I
because there's
actually don't
delays in
think it's
allowing for entry.
perishables. Truth,
Oh,
I
sorry,
don't
they
think
so
it's
it's
perishables.
Why would
Uh,
they use
Are you sure
perishable
it's
food?
it's rice, yeah, rice and
yeah,
rice and
rice,
flour.
flour, like high carbohydrate, dehydrated food.
I just heard that part of the food has had to be
Regardless,
tossed. I'm sure there's
No,
so
no,
so
truth is
so
right.
guys. I'm not saying all the food is
Truth
perishable. I'm
is
saying
right. Truth is right.
yes,
At the very
Lazar, you know that?
beginning, yeah. At the very beginning of the conflict, not the conflict. Sorry, the attack on Gaza. That's funny. Um, this attack on Gaza, there were trucks that had to be offloaded of all the expired stuff. They did not expect to be stopped, and in fact, the first day on the 8th of October, the authorities managed to get quite a few trucks in, anticipating some sort of blockade afterwards. But some trucks on their way had to stop. So a lot of the goods, the food stuff was had to be destroyed. So it did happen in the very, very, very beginning, and they did not know what how it's gonna, you know, happen.
As of today, Smotrich is preventing the passage of trucks full of flour
Yeah, I saw that.
using the UNRWA excuse. So I really don't. It's not that food is not important. It is. It's extremely important. But I think that if we branch out too much, like we can talk about it. But in terms of the campaign, I really think we should stay focused. But I will say that I think that for me, this is we should talk more about the data, which I want to do once Stan gets here. But in terms of action items, I think that we have a PR marketing team, and I will try to get more information about logistics, and I will try to find some more technical social media experts to figure out a strategy. And tomorrow, we'll probably have more actionable steps to take. So. I personally, I don't like reiterating the same conversation again and again. So if anybody has something to say, you're welcome, but we can also move on. Just
I
vent,
had
talk about whatever you need.
one other thing to discuss. If you can check your DMs for a sec, that individual in the pictures, apparently there's an investigation into that guy, and you and I apparently got in the way of it by reporting his space. I didn't know that because they were trying to capture recordings of actual threats. So I'm being blamed for that, just so you know.
For what?
Take a look.
For
Yeah, the guy whose tweet that I sent you earlier. It's in your DMs. But they're saying we sabotaged the investigation. I'm like, what investigation? I had no idea who this
holy
guy even
shit.
was. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Did you know that? I found out today
No.
from the lady. I actually we were DMing back and forth because I had no idea that they were doing an active investigation
So
because apparently
how are we supposed to know that?
we had no idea. Maybe you can reach out to her and explain that to her as well because she's
To
pissed off.
whom? Yeah, to the Natalie girl? Yeah, sure, I
Yeah.
will. But
Yeah. So,
did she know that? Wait, start from the
no, I'm
beginning.
like, why didn't you tell us? Maybe you should have told us that in advance.
Wait, start from the beginning because I know nothing about this. I try to avoid it. I just told her, look, I didn't open a space about you. I just put like what I said in the nest.
Yeah,
So,
yes, for that. We're like, we gave away his cover, but apparently
so
his
start
space
from the
never.
beginning and where we are today.
Fine. So this particular individual, he's been on my space a few times. He's off his rails though. He just goes off and says a whole bunch of anti-Semitic shit. So we don't let him up anymore. Done, right? So he got pissed off because he was holding his space with some other guys and saying a whole bunch of crazy shit. He had that title as well, so we all reported it. And then I wrote comments down as well. So he got pissed off, and I guess the tweet's public, so I can put that up. I don't. If you don't object, I'll put it up so people can kind of see what we're
Yeah,
talking
sure,
about
sure, no problem.
here. Just
I'm
give
no
me a sec.
Nelson.
Truth, who are you talking about?
You remember
Who?
the Nazi space with
Yeah,
Yeah, who?
his name's
Who?
Luke.
Yeah, I thought that's who you were talking about. I actually blocked that dude. He seems a little
He's
nuts
crazy,
to me.
but apparently he's seeking refuge in Australia, and he's trying to get.
I'll give like the
He's
background
trying
is
to
a
get
couple of days ago. I was
wife.
informed that there's a there's a space going on titled "Let's raise money to buy a gas chamber to finish Hitler's job" or something like that. I DM'd everybody I could. I needed help to troll it to get it reported and shut down. Truth was extremely helpful. Like jumped into action. One of the best helps I got that day. I That is why I completely back him up, and then you can take it from there.
Sure. So his space did get shut down, though he reopened another one. So that's why I'm a little bit confused. But I guess during that space, he was making actual personal threats. Now, if you do that on a space, you can be reported to the authorities. Then they can actually arrest him. They're trying to get him anyway. But he's been clever. I guess he knows the rules. and they're looking for the recording. I guess it's towards the end of the space because now they can't find it. So I'm still a little bit confused. Well, fine. So the recording exists. Why are you blaming that on me? Because I guess he deleted the post because we both reported him, and I also wrote down those comments that you see in that tweet, which
But from my
is
understanding, X has backup recordings of everything, even recordings you
exactly.
delete.
So I told her to
Yeah.
reach out. You're right. For about they go back a month. So I told her reach out to X, try to get it. And I think she's going to look into it. Maybe you can emphasize that to her as well,
So
because she.
Natalie is the one he was starting making personal threats against, and now
Yeah,
she needs the recording and she can't find it, and she's blaming you.
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
criminal
Okay, I'll
space.
reach
Oh,
out to
and
her.
you, and you.
And me. Okay, I'll reach
You're
out
in
to her.
those
Yeah.
messages.
Okay. Yeah. You have no idea how many DMs I got today. I have like 100
Yeah,
DMs. Like
that's
I did
fine.
not
If we
expect
can
that.
help her with this, she'd be
Yeah.
very
No.
grateful.
I want to help her.
Fine by
But
me, because apparently certain lives are at stake because he's a psychopath. So
That was a criminal space, as an actual crime was happening there, you know. And
wow, they were basically conspiring to do
yeah,
some
yeah,
very
yeah.
bad things. Again, I didn't
Yep.
listen to all that because I reported it right away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's pissed
he
off.
he he opened multiple ones, so it was more than one space.
Yep, that's
I'm
right. And different
pretty
people were hosting and
convinced
co-hosting.
that he's dangerous to his family, and he started rambling once about how they got, you know, infiltrated or whatever, recruited or something like that, and I'm pretty convinced that he's very dangerous to his family, and he's deranged, like sick, like he doesn't need prison, he needs an asylum.
The other guy who was hosting, so somebody from Gaza called and screamed at him in Arabic and said like, "Our blood is not a joke." And then he got angry and he was like, "Bring me that guy. I want to break his teeth and stuff like that." It was crazy.
That guy
Yeah,
has multiple arrest warrants against him.
I
maybe
wouldn't.
maybe he's bipolar. I don't know, but apparently he's a risk to
Yeah,
society or wherever he
I wouldn't
is.
want to be in the neighborhood he's at. But let's go to Violet if